What's up, everybody? Brian, Living Jeeping and Adventuring. I'm back out in the shop. We're going to finish up the steering on this thing today and tomorrow and the next day, or however many days it takes. I'm going to get it done. I'm going to be building the double shears for both knuckles and the pitman arm. I could go out and buy them, but I've got a lot of scrap still laying around, and I've never built a set before, so I figured this would be a good opportunity to learn how to do it and take you guys along with the ride. So, that being said, let's check out what I've already got done, which is not much. Not much at all. Just been cutting some cardboard up. The CAD design, the cardboard auto design, that's what I'm doing. Check it out. Alright, so that's kind of what I got so far. I got a piece on the top that's going to go to the knuckle here. Then I got another piece down here that's going to go from the knuckle up, kind of as a brace. I think that's all this side's going to need. I may redesign it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I may put a plate back here as well to kind of stiffen everything up. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I have not done anything to the other side yet. So, yeah, it's kind of all just floppy. But we'll get there. Alright guys, so it looks like everything I made for the driver's side is also going to fit this passenger side. Just kind of in reverse. So the only thing I'm going to have to come up with now is the top shear, another brace, and then another front plate right here. Kind of rigidify that as best as I can, since the steering does take a lot of abuse. So what I'm going to do is kind of put that sort of where I'm going to want it, in line with the other plate down there. Mark where the knuckle stops, right there. Put the center point of my bolt here, and then kind of just rough it around. And then I'll go straight to over here. Alright, and that'll kind of give me a rough template for the top piece, and I can cut it out and then go from there. Trim it up, do whatever we got to. I've seen this done a bunch using the cardboard. I've used it a bunch, but like I said, I've never made a set of these double shears before, so I'm curious if it's going to work. Center point. Now that does kind of go at an angle, so I got to trim that just a smidgen. Alright, there we go. That's the top piece. Now I'll probably straighten this side out a bit. Let's see here. Because I don't know if you saw the last video or if you could see it in the video, but my wheels get very, very close to these tie rods, or links I should say. Alright, so there we go. That should be it. Now I got to take this out, put that piece in, kind of hold everything together, and cut the braces out. This might actually go pretty good. I do have to go to town in a little bit, get some bolts, and replace my oxygen so I can cut all the stuff out. But this might be done today. This up like that. Trace inside. I got the double shear kind of mocked up sitting there. It's a little bit gapped out because I don't have anything tight yet, but once I get everything tight and welded, everything should look pretty good. Got this side here set up. Tolerance over here is a little bit tighter. Maybe I took the time, I don't know what I did different, but it's there. Cat. Oh, God. Here. Well, everything's tacked, taken apart, all that good stuff. Now, we'll work on heating all the metal area up that I need to weld. I got a little thing right here. I'm going to heat it up to around 400 degrees. Once it's at temperature, I'll put the weld on it. About 350 to 450 degrees, somewhere in there. Get some welds done on it. If I have to, I'll have to heat it back up. They're all done, welded up, looking good. Let's check the temperature on them real quick and see what they're still reading. So this one still about 350. That one about 250, so it's already starting to cool down. So let's go ahead and wrap these up. That way it kind of slows the process down a little bit. It's better for that cast. Alright, we'll leave that for an hour or two. I'll probably go eat some supper. Whew. That was good. Good spaghetti. Now, it's time to see if these things are cooled off. Let's see here. Flip flop. Let's see. Yeah. Nice and cool. Looks good and strong. I do have a little piece on this one I've got to trim off back here. Gotta trim that off, but other than that, it's good shape. There we have it. It's on there. I am gonna clean it up a little bit, but everything fits super tight in here. I mean, it is tight, but tight's good. So, and this side here, same way. It's done. Phew. Now for the pitman arm. I've got it out. I've got a piece cut out of cardboard, but I don't know if that's. I think that's what I'm gonna do, but not entirely sure yet. Pitman arm sits in there like a so. Something kind of prop that up with. Oh, let's use a planetary. Hey, there we go. That's close enough. So it kind of sits in there like that. And the hind joint has got to sit in there like so. Kind of. So what I need is a piece that's going to go kind of here. So this is kind of what this little piece of cardboard kind of represents, sort of. I know it's going to be something like that. Something like that there. And then I'll probably take another couple pieces and do a little kind of closed in area here, kind of fill this in. So I decided, instead of using a straight, the straight heim, I think since I'm having so many binding issues on the steering linkage and the pitman arm, I'm going to go with an offset. Now, I've got another left-handed thread offset, so it kind of worked out that I got sent the wrong parts and Barnes let me keep them. So shout out to Barnes, you guys are awesome, like always. Love your parts. So yeah, I'm using offset here, so I'll be able to brace it coming up. So this is going to kind of sit in there. Get in there. It's going to sit in there like a so. And I'll have a piece that comes up and closes all this in. And then again on the back side, I'll have a piece that closes this whole thing in. So what I plan on doing is making it to where it covers this whole outside. So it'll come all the way down, up, and the outside of the pitman arm on both sides to really kind of stiffen this thing up. I can't put anything up here because I'm already running into issues with the radiator kind of clipping here. So I've got to pull my radiator back to clear this. So, man, everything on this Liberty is so tight, so packed in there. Then you go putting bigger axles and steering gearboxes that's not supposed to be there. It cramps everything up even more. So, but I think that's the plan. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start there, and see what happens. Let's cut some metal. Use every bit of scrap that I have. So I found this little 10-inch section of 2x6 tube, you know, the rectangle tube stuff I built my sliders out of and my frame and everything out of. So I found this little piece here, so I cut these little sections out of it, there and there. Got those all cleaned up and kind of fitted. They fit there pretty good. I did bend them a little, but overall they fit really nicely right there. So now all I got to do is tack all this together, and then heat this up, because this is cast, I do believe, and then take my home joint out, get it all welded up nice and tight. Ready. Knock this out and then wrap it up in a blanket, and I'm gonna be done for the day. So it's the next day. Check this out. This thing turned out pretty nice. Do have to clean my welds up a little bit, but it's pretty solid. I think it's gonna do the trick. Like I was talking about yesterday, I may end up doing a plate here, but we'll see. We'll see what kind of room I got under there. I'm gonna get this cleaned up a little bit, throw this thing back on, and see how everything performs. Make sure there's no binding, or make sure I don't have to clear anything here out. So we'll see. Well, I think we're good to go ahead and install this again. Let's get it up there. It's home. All right. Give it a little crank. Make sure it's good and tight. Oh man, this ain't working. Oh, there we go. One more room in there. There we go. Sweet. All right, let's see if I can put this back together. Now, got those birds cleaned up. Spacer washer in there. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, you gotta sit in there nice and straight for me. There we go. There we go. Got it lined up in there. Of course, my threads are a little boogered up now. To be expected. Everything's nice and tight. Let me tighten that up some. Alright. We're good. Everything's good and tight in here. Could probably be a little tighter. Still got a little bit of play there. Well, that's way better. Alright. Okay, so the reason I had to use this offset Heim was because back here in the back, when it was at full lock to the driver's side, it was hitting. So I'm getting ready to turn it, so we're gonna have to watch it. If it hits again, I'm gonna have to shave a little bit of this inside out right here. Hopefully not, we'll see. Wanna watch it for me? All right, I'm gonna turn it. Let's see what happens. I can already tell it's hitting somewhere. Yep, I'm gonna have to trim some of that out. Unfortunately, that's all right. Get my marker and mark it. It comes up. And then it kind of comes here. Right there. All right, take it back to it. Right about there is straight. I don't know how good this backside is going to show up on camera, but it turns all the way right. And now we're back to straight-ish. And now it turns all the way left. So I think it might still be kind of hitting down here a little. I'll have to kind of grind that down a little bit more, but other than that, we should be pretty good shape. Let's see, adjusting that up a little. Maybe we'll go a little more now. No, that's full locked, so we're good both ways. That's awesome. Alright, well, I got it. The pitman arm finally all dialed in. It turns both ways nice. It doesn't bind up on anything, so I'm pretty happy with it. I do got to trim this bolt off or get a shorter one, and same for this driver's side, but it does turn back and forth nice. Let's go all the way there. Nothing binds anywhere, nothing hits anywhere. So I call that a win. Still got a lot of work to do on this thing, but one more thing, it's knocked out. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for this video. Pretty stoked I got this steering wrapped up. I'm very happy with how it turned out. Not really concerned with anything. I think it's going to hold up pretty well. If not, I'll just rebuild it if it breaks. So, that being said, if you guys have been following the channel, I am still going out for the wild card for the Bleepin' Jeep Beast Wars. If you can, head on over to the Matt's Patreon. Check it out. Vote for this Liberty. I'd love an opportunity to go hang out with all those guys and compete. If I don't get in, that's cool. I may go down anyway just to hang out. So, appreciate you guys watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Please leave a comment, and see you next time.